better, and quarterbacking is getting better.
Look at the AFC North. That's why they have 3 teams in the playoffs.
Lamar,
this year.
Baker, Burrow, Ben. Ben's now the worst.
Tomlin, Harbaugh, Stefanski.
Pretty good.
Yep. So Chiefs defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo has been successful in the Super Bowl against Tom Brady before. He was the DC for the Giants when they beat the undefeated Patriots in the 2007 season. I've never rooted harder for a team that I didn't care about than the Giants.
Worst Super Bowls I've ever seen.
It was amazing.
Brutal.
Listen, Colin, it's just 72 seasons all the Dolphins have right now. We're starting to pick up some momentum.
Yeah, all Miami has beyond the weather.
The Dolphins. But Spagnuolo knows Brady is going to be ready to face the Chiefs and anything they throw at him.
He's a step ahead of everything. I mean, every film clip that you put on, he's putting their guys in the right defense. That's always the challenge when you go against what I call a cerebral quarterback, and we know Tom is like that. He has total control. He gets them out there in time to change things. We're going to have to be really good on the back end, not to show him things, or as we say, don't let him read our mail. Because if he can read our mail, he knows exactly what to do.
He's 2-3, Brady is, in his career, including the playoffs against Spagnuolo as a DC, including 0-2 with 4 touchdowns and 3 interceptions against Spags.
Yeah.
So
I'll tell you got to give Spags credit. In the playoffs so far, Kansas City's secondary has been great. Honey Badger just cinches that all up. They've been really good.
The Chiefs' defense this postseason is 4th in points allowed, 5th in yards allowed per game, and they've had 5 sacks and 2 interceptions. Here's what's interesting about this scenario with them. Obviously, Spagnuolo does have a lot of experience against Brady in the postseason, which is important. Now, Pro Football Focus has ranked the Bucs' offensive line 5th in 2020. They have a good offensive line. Brady does not like to get touched. We know that. That's always been the case. It's nothing new, not in his old age. It's not a thing. When he's under pressure, including the postseason, 36.9 completion percentage, 5.1 yards per attempt, 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and a 44.6 passer rating. So if they can get some pressure on him, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, Tom was never as good with pressure. Nobody is. But as he's aged and wants to get hit less, I actually think, we said this before the season. Does everybody understand how great of a pick and how great of an acquisition Tristan Wirfs was for the Bucs at right tackle? There was like 5 tackles everybody liked. He was the brute strength tackle, not the most elegant. He's a Pro Bowler at right. You can argue he's the first or second best right tackle in football. If he doesn't work, they got a tackle issue because they did lose their left tackle for a while. So the reality for him, the interior of the Bucs O-line's been good. They're like ornery, really good. This rookie right tackle he's got a little bit of a wall now. So the good news for Tom is as Wirfs has gotten better over October to November, December, January. So Wirfs now is an elite right tackle.
Well, as we know, Tom is doing a lot of film study with his giant empty house. So to Spag's point, he knows where everything's going. So you just have to be better that day. So after 5 seasons with the Rams, Jared Goff is now a member of the Detroit Lions. And while he's disappointed about his time in LA ending, he does think it's a good move for him. He said, as the quarterback, as the guy that's at arguably the most important position on the field, if you're in a place that you're not wanted and they want to move on from you, the feeling's mutual. You don't want to be in the wrong place. It became increasingly clear that was the case. The trade is something I'm hopeful is going to be so good for my career. It's always it's bittersweet leaving anywhere for any reason, right? Like endings can be difficult. How you transition from one thing to the next. Different people handle it differently. Like someone like you and I who's moved around a lot, I don't get super attached to like places and things because it's like I'm used to change and I'm comfortable with that.
Right.
But in trades, sometimes we look at them like, okay, one person's being traded because they're bad or they're not playing well, or and sometimes superstars get traded. So every situation is different. It really feels like the more that we're learning about this situation, and this has been the book on the Rams for a while now because they're very almost Patriot-like. Like there are pizzazz and aggressive and trades and signings and throwing money everywhere, but they don't let stuff get out.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing with the Todd Gurley situation was very, nobody knew what was going on.
Yeah.
Is he injured? Is he not injured? What's going on? And similarly with Goff, he was benched, but we thought it was an injury until Wolford got injured, and then we're like, how how is Goff available? Why is Wolford out there if Goff is available?
I will tell you this. I have been in correspondence with somebody inside the Rams organization. They don't like Goff being beat up. I was told last night, great kid. We made a decision as an organization. They don't like the Goff can't play narrative. In fact, what the Rams are telling me is, if Goff didn't have talent, you couldn't pull this off. He never gets hurt.
Right.
He's a great kid. He lost confidence. But the Rams want it to be known, this deal only gets made if you have something of value that you don't get Matt. By the way, the Colts wanted him. The Patriots wanted Stafford. The Niners wanted Stafford. Why did the Rams get him? Because Goff is viewed as a former number one, really good judgment, really good kid.
He's just in a Super Bowl.
Doesn't get hurt outside of his thumb, never gets hurt. So I will say this. The Rams are not comfortable with everybody banging on Goff, although their coach got tired of him. But in the end, they want it known that there's a reason we could make the deal, and the Niners wanted him and couldn't. Because we had Goff.
This doesn't feel like a messy situation outside of the whole, McVay was out on him thing.
Yeah, publicly for about 3 weeks.
Right.
Bad, yeah.
So Jimmy Garoppolo's time in San Francisco could be over soon. The 49ers have reportedly been looking for an upgrade at the quarterback position for next year, but George Kittle still has all the confidence in the world in Jimmy G.
I still believe in Jimmy G. I think he's an incredible quarterback. I think he can lead us to another Super Bowl. I think he can win the Super Bowl with them. And I can't even talk enough about his leadership skills on and off the field. So I feel like I've answered this question about 200 times now since I last talked to you guys after last Super Bowl. But I'll keep dying on this sword because I think Jimmy G's a fantastic quarterback.
So he's not bad. He's just always injured.
Okay, that's right. So the Niners and the Rams both wanted Stafford. Why did the Rams get him? Because Goff is viewed as a better prospect than Garoppolo inside NFL circles and by Detroit. And, oh, by the way, to your point, I looked this up this morning. Look at it. Listen to this. It kind of blew me away. Remember the Garoppolo Kirk Cousins rumors?
Right.
And we were like, what? Talked to somebody last night. I said, explain it to me. Because on the show yesterday, I'm like, I'm totally confused. I do. So I texted somebody last night. I said, explain why Kirk Cousins and Garoppolo would be swapped. And this very smart executive said, if you take out a Week 17 game for the Vikings in which Kirk Cousins was pulled because the Vikings were already in the playoffs.
Right.
Never missed a start. Garoppolo, 4 years, has missed 23.
Yeah.
And he said Kyle Shanahan may not like Cousins significantly more than Garoppolo, but he's tired of going to his third quarterback.
That's very understandable. I think that availability is a skill. Now, look, nobody wants to be injured, and sometimes you just get bad luck and you're just injury prone. Other times it's you don't take care of your body. Who knows what it is with Jimmy G? But after a while, once this is the thing, it's the thing. Like, he's missed 23 games to injuries. That's insane. 23 games if he played 15 years. That's a lot of games to miss. And to your point, they are tired of constantly replacing him, and they're in a Super Bowl window right now.